When Season of Discovery does something that you do not like, what do? Medina quiz, okay? Tell me the answer. You know the answer because I tell you every video. Complain on Twitter. Hands down, it always works. And this is gonna be the talking point of today. Medina got very upset on a video. A lot of people, not just me, got very upset in a video. And now Blizzard is having to move the goalpost of how Ahn'Qiraj is gonna work with the loot, because it was such an ungodly, stupid idea that, I mean, they cannot really go backwards and say, guys, we messed up, it's a stupid idea, I'm sorry. That's never gonna work for them. They should do that. Honestly, they should do that. And who knows? Maybe they are gonna wait until the PTR and then they are gonna tell us, guys, okay, the PTR testing worked out and people didn't like it, so we're changing it. That's what I would have done. But they had to contain the media panic somehow, so let's talk about why people are so upset and why they had to move the goalpost, walk it back a little bit here. First of all, we got very big news. The PTR is coming on the 8th of November, that's right, like 5 days before Warcraft Direct. They are not holding anything back for SoD. Part of me is very happy that they are not holding anything back and they are releasing content fast, and part of me is kinda scared that they are just trying to get over with SoD as fast as possible. But with the announcement of the PTR came a little change, okay? They said they were updating the post, this announcement right here. So Kaivax, the community manager, said that he published the whole announcement on Phase 6, and they updated the preview to provide a great deal more clarity on how the bonus loot is gonna work. They modified this announcement over here. We went over it on stream, you guys remember that. But very well, why are people so freaking upset? Wowhead over here has a transcript of the original announcement, what they originally said the bonus loot mechanic for Ahn'Qiraj was gonna work like. Players will need to decide how far they wanna push their luck to earn the greatest reward with a new system. After each boss, they will need to make a choice between cashing in the rewards or enabling more challenging mechanics and trying for better loot. Okay, here's the big one that people got really mad about. You will need to balance the risk and reward against each other, as too many deaths in the raid could mean your team earns nothing at all. Trial of the Grand Crusader is alive and well in the mind of Classic for some reason, one of the most hated raids of all time. People are telling me in Classic it was popular and they liked it. I freaking hate that mechanic, but basically it was the same experiment back in Wrath of the Lich King. They gave you, I do not remember, like 20 attempts to do a boss, and if you wipe 20 times you weren't allowed to do anything in the raid anymore, something like that. They were doing the same mechanic for Ahn'Qiraj. If you wipe too many times to the hard mode, you're not getting extra loot. Now, I sat down and I theorized for a long time on stream that day. Why would they want to do this? What could possibly be the motivation between preventing you from trying doing a boss over and over again? How are people supposed to learn how to do a boss if they are not allowed to wipe on it? We came up with a bunch of theories with the chat, like what if they are trying to extend the amount of time it takes you to get the entire raid on farm, and that somehow from their point of view will increase the engagement? What if they want the opposite? What if they want people not to be pressured of trying super hard the first week and spending like 12 hours on progression on the first week because they feel that people are gonna get burned out? Or maybe they want to increase the perception of the raid being hard, because of course people on Reddit always say, oh, we want this thing to be super hard, bro, it's so much better if it is hard. So maybe they are trying to appeal to those people, because once again, complaining on Twitter works. Whether they are right or not, complaining on Twitter is always the way to get changes done to Classic nowadays. Now I had a sit down with chat and we did a little heart to heart, and we just came to the agreement that that might be the case, that might be the reason, but it doesn't achieve any of that. It is the stupidest idea I have ever seen. Will it extend progression for the hardcore guilds that would have been affected by this change? Because if you put like a maximum of 10 wipes in the raid, who are the guilds that are gonna keep wiping and wiping and wiping and wiping for 12 hours until they get the raid? That's the very top hardcore raids, and those people are gonna try to get the raid on farm whether they get extra loot or not. They are not gonna give up just because you take take away the extra loot. Will it make people feel less pressured because they have less wipes to do before they can give up? Well, no, I don't think so, because this is gonna cause a lot of interpersonal drama. If you only have a limited amount of attempts to do a raid and one guy causes a wipe, where it used to be that, oh man, you costed us 20 minutes, cut it out. Now it's gonna be a get this guy out of the guild, I don't wanna see you, do not talk to me or my son ever again because you caused a wipe and we only have a certain amount of chances and you blew it. You can see how that is not gonna be conducive to the best guild interactions in the world. And on the perception of making the raid harder, well, it might decrease the success ratio, the success rate of any given run in Ahn'Qiraj. Are you happier if that happens? I do not know what's up with you guys. So yes, this announcement made no freaking sense whatsoever. People started raging all over Twitter, appealing to our Lord and Savior Ahn'Qiraj to come and save us from these oppressive changes, okay? They couldn't even wait 9 days or even 5 days, I guess, for the PTR to clarify these things, okay? They had to do damage control immediately because it was so bad. And now we got this clarification here. Actually, Wowhead made an excerpt of what they actually changed in the announcement because I am not reading the entire article again, so thank you, Wowhead, I love you. Players will need to decide how far they want to push their skill to earn additional rewards with an optional new system we are calling the Descent into Madness. These optional rewards can be earned on top of the guaranteed loot dropped by the bosses within these 2 raid dungeons. To opt in, players will need to choose to take part before the encounter with the first boss in each raid. So you have to do the whole raid in hard mode or you don't get it, basically. Players who choose, okay, here, players who choose to test their abilities against the increased difficulty of each boss are provided with a limited number of attempts to succeed in earning the rewards. And here's like the worst part of it. If the raid group succeeds, they are gonna be rewarded with a bonus chest that gives you additional items for the raid. Players can choose to loot the bonus chest. Opting to continue to the next boss will destroy the previous chest and will allow the raid to try for a new chest with additional items in it after the next boss. So this is basically the do you wanna be a millionaire thing. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but you know, like every stage of the game you are winning money and they go like, you made $40,000. Do you wanna take the $40,000 or do you wanna risk it to double it on the next question? That's kind of what they are doing here. I mean, it's still stupid, but I see like a snippet of something cool happening there. Like I kind of want to see how that works out. At the same time, that's going to give you a problem here. There are checkpoints in place as you progress through the raid dungeon that should you fail at some point, you will still be awarded a minimum amount of bonus loot if you reached one of those checkpoints. So that's a compromise they made, and I had a discussion a while ago. Not a lot of people saw it, I don't know, people don't care about those things, but I will try to reiterate for you. When the hit system for Molten Core came out, I said it was really stupid, and a lot of people agreed with me, but instead of saying, okay, they gotta get rid of this system is dumb, it doesn't help the game, people were trying to fix it. People were trying to come up with some admittedly very clever compromises, solutions, checks and balances. What if instead of a one-shot is like a dot? What if you tune up the curve of how many fire resistance you need instead of a hard cutoff? What if you can give some of your fire resistance to somebody so the one guy that gets locked out of the raid because he doesn't have enough, he can still go? People came out with all sorts of new ideas to quote-unquote fix the hit system, and my take on it was basically, if you gotta make so many checks and balances, if you gotta make so many compromises to make a system work, does the system really work? Is the system really worth it? Because at this point we're just arguing that it wasn't real communism, that they didn't try it just quite like I liked it this time, so it didn't count. That's basically what they are saying with the difficulty system there. Yeah, if they put 8 more rules on top of it, it could have worked, I think. And let this be a guideline for everybody that wants to make a freaking game. If you need to make super complex rules to make something not abusable or ruining the game, don't mess with it. Do not throw good money after bad. Admit that it was stupid. I would have a lot more respect for the classic team if they went straight up, we didn't think this through, it was stupid, we're scrapping it, or we're getting rid of the you wipe too many times and you lose mechanic. I think that's what people wanted to hear. This is not what people wanna hear. It is less awful, but it is not what people wanna hear. The choice between more rewards to hand out to your team and facing increased difficulty will be entirely up to the raid group to decide. It is important to note, once again here, damage control, that rewards are in addition to those that can be earned from the regular boss loot, but aren't more powerful, just like before. Compared to previous phases of Season of Discovery, the amount of loot per boss is being migrated from requiring the harder difficulty to most of it being awarded baseline. The base number of drops per boss will be higher, the bonus loot will be very limited, and many of these additional rewards will also be cosmetic in nature. And they are talking that the PTR is coming on November 8th, so they had to go out of their way to say that we messed up, people are really mad. For whatever reason, we cannot scrap this, we cannot admit we did something stupid, so we're just gonna make it so it doesn't really matter. That's what they are trying to say here. Which is better, but it's still not the right answer, Blizzard. It's still not the right answer. When you say we are gonna nerf this thing to a point where it barely matters, what you are really saying is, we know the answer is to get rid of it, but we won't. That's what you're saying. Once again, I would love to hear in a couple weeks when Warcraft Direct comes out and the PTR and whatever, that they go, okay guys, we tested the PTR, this didn't work out the way we wanted to, so we're gonna nerf it. That would be the right answer. We're just gonna get rid of it, not nerf it, sorry. That's what I actually wanna hear, and I don't know, does anybody still care for difficulty systems? I enjoy Blackwing Lair a lot more than I enjoy the other difficulty systems, not because I like difficulty systems, but because it almost didn't do anything. And Bellular used to do this analogy back in BFA days that I thought it was amazing. We call it the penis on the salad, okay? You go to a restaurant, you order a salad, and there is a penis standing on your salad. You call the waiter and you go like, sir, there is a penis on my salad. How could I eat this salad? And the guy says, yeah, but you just grab the fork and you eat around it a little bit, so it doesn't really matter that the penis is on your salad. Aren't you happy about the salad now? Well, yeah, I guess I could do that, but why did you put a penis in my salad? That's the difficulty system in SoD. The next time you eat a salad, I want you to imagine there is a penis on it. Blizzard's penis. Subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.